This video I'm going to explain how to use search helper using API. So in that particular video we are going to implement that package search helper using JSON placeholder API. This is basically a fake API using for learning JSON parsing. Now in this tutorial we are going to implement that particular plugin search helper through API data. So in this we have multiple things given. For the resources we can click on the post, so at the end we will get that data and we will implement search on that particular data. So now let me copy that URL. Basically this URL is the endpoint from where we got that particular data. Now let me start. First of all, we have to install the package in our pubspec.yaml file. So is search helper, let me copy it from there and then paste it there, and pub-get. So it basically get that particular plugin from the pub.dev website. And so in this video we are going to get data from internet, so we will be needing HTTP package as well. And in this video as you can see the thumbnail of the video, we have stated that get data like professional. So we'll be using state management in that video as well. So if you are looking for state management, or if you're looking for search functionality, you can get advantage from the same video. So we are using get for the state management purpose, and get version 4.0.0, that particular version. Let me get it again. After getting data, after installing the dependencies, now we have to create a model of the class, model of the data. Suppose we are getting that data, now we have to create model for that data. For creating model of the data, first of all we have to go towards JSON to dot converter. It is helper website that can give you help. You have to provide the data, and basically it will convert that data into model for you. Now I have copied that data and I have pasted there, and I am giving it a name post model, and I have generated. So you can see how helper it is. I have just pasted the response from the internet and it generated the class for me, also in the form of null free. You can see all the question marks are there. Just click on copy dot code, and now we have to create a model folder for that. Package models, and inside that model we have a model post model. And now I have pasted the code that I got from the website. One thing I want to show to you is that in this video we are going to work on how search model works. It basically takes list of t. T is basically generic type. It can be your map, it can be your user defined model, and data parameter, and then it takes key parameter, list of string, and then it take an object. If you are searching inside object, like you have a list of model, and inside model you have another object, so you can also search on that inside model, and then you have to pass a search word parameter, and it takes dynamic value, and at the end it then return list of map. We are working on it to improve it, but for now we are returning list of map again. There I have write one important note: make sure that every model you are using have its own to JSON and from JSON method. Like if you can see this, this have to JSON and from JSON method, because in the package we are converting, we are decoding objects and we are encoding objects, through which we can get the data, and we are transforming it to the search. So the two JSON and from JSON method is very important to be there. Now now let's going toward our network. So we are getting data from the network and we have installed HTTP package already. Now I'm creating another folder. I'm going to name that folder network handler, and inside that folder I'm going to create one file which is also named network handler. Inside that file I have to create one Dart class which is responsible for getting all the things that we have to do with network handler, and it contain one static method which is called get API call. Basically it takes two things as an input. So first thing is the URL string URL, and another thing is map of string comma string as a headers. Now we have to use, as we have imported HTTP package, so we have to use that at that particular point HTTP. So HTTP basically get two things. HTTP.get, as in this case we are getting data from internet, so that's why I have called HTTP.get method. And URL, instead of URL we have to pass URI dot try parse. Basically get takes URI and then URL is headers, so we have to pass headers as well. Basically getting data from API takes some time, so we have to wait for it. Wait basically work as waiting, and we have to make that particular function asynchronous. As we wait for some time, then we will get a response back from the internet which we are storing in that particular variable. So it may be happen that we don't have internet, and we can also have other problems, so we have to wrap it inside the try catch block. And if we got some error, then we can print it there, got error at E. If one don't have internet connection, then basically this API call will throw an error and it will be catch over there. But if it don't have any error, then we just simply return the response. That's it about the network handler class. Now we know that we have post model ready and we have a network handler ready. Now we have to manage our state. So for managing our state, let's use another folder in which we will name it controller. So basically that is we are implementing search helper through proper state management. So I will call it data underscore controller, and in this class we will be implementing getx. So we will be working as a proper state management class data controller. I'm going to name it data controller, which basically extends getx controller. And then I'm going to create a list. As you know that we are getting list of data from internet. First of all I have to create a method for that, get posts data, right? And while it is getting data from the internet, I am going to create is loading variable there. When it is getting data from internet, it will be true. Once the data is getted, then we will make it false for the circular progress indicator purpose. Now again we have to use try catch finally. In the try catch we will make that is loading variable true, so we show that data is loading, and then finally we have to make it false. When we are done with getting or having error, then it will be false. Now what we have to do is basically we have to call that particular method that we have created for getting post related data. Now what I have to do is just I have to call that particular method network handler dot get API call, and we have to pass URL. So in our case, our end URL is this one. Okay, and headers, we have to pass empty headers. As this is a synchronous task, so we have to make it async, and we have to wait for the API data, which will be coming as a response. Once we get that response from the API, then we have to check whether the request is successfully done or it has any error. So for checking that whether we have successfully done, so we have to check status code dot status, where it is. Okay, so we have to return their future of http dot response. Mm, sorry, I was declaring it the class name. We have to write it over here. Future http dot response. So basically, it will then send that response to the below. Now we are done with that, and now if response dot status code, if this is equal to 200, this means we have successfully got data from the API. Else, if we don't get data from API, then we just make a little message that failed error while getting data from internet. Okay, so here we have to transform our list of JSON to our list of model. For that, we have to create first of all list of model. How we can create that? Let me show you. Variable posts equal to empty list, and we have to make it observable. And after doing this, we have to create one loop on that for transforming the list of JSON toward the list of model. So how we can do that? That's very simple. First of all, we have to decode that. Variable result equal to JSON decode, or you can say JSON dot decode. First of all, we have to import convert dot convert package, and then it will be open to use decode a response dot body. And then we have to, as you know that we are getting a list of maps, so for that purpose we have to make a loop on that for each. Sorry, it will iterate over each map of the list, and then we will going to transform that. So first of all, we have to make a model from that e is basically one map. Let me create a post model equal to post model dot from JSON e. So it will basically convert the map into model, and then we will add it to the list. So what is our list? We have post dot add and model. So our model will be added to the post list. And after getting all the data into the model form, then we have to create one another list, just because we have one original data and then we have another list. So I named it filter list, and it is also empty but observable list. So when I transform all the data into the post, then what I have to do, I have to assign the same data to the filter post as well. And in case of error, when we got error, then we have to make the both list again empty. Post dot value equal to empty list, and filter post dot value equal to empty, just for the sake of so we don't get any null value. uh, okay, so basically this method, what does this method do is it basically get data from internet. Like it will call that particular url and it get all the data, and then transform that list of map into list of model and store it into the post, and also a copy or assign it to the filter post list. So we have all the data in our end. Now what we have to do is we have to work a little bit on the UI side. So now what you can see is the basic code that we get while creating Flutter project. Let me remove that, and I have to make it from scratch. Material and then void main function. It basically return my app and material app. So let me create the UI and then I will come back, because I know that you all are experts, and I don't want to waste your time while creating the UI. So you can see in the get material app I have directed toward the splash screen. This is just simple splash screen with one image and the text inside that. After 5 seconds it is redirecting towards the home screen, and in home screen it contains one column. Inside the column I have created a text field with the search here hint, and one list view. So basically what does this list view is doing, it basically getting the data from the filter list. So I have created the instance of get.put is basically creating that data controller object, and I have make it permanent true so I can access it everywhere. And then I have created the object and stored into the data controller object. From data controller object I have created obx. If you are familiar with getx, then what obx is performing, it is basically listening to particular thing. Like in our case what we have did, when we are getting data from the internet, we are basically making this is loading observable. So when we are trying to get it, we make it true, and then we are done with, we are making it false. So basically when we are getting data from the internet, then we are checking the states. If it's true, then we are showing the circular progress indicator. When we are done, then we are showing that list view dot builder. So when I put this data controller, if you can see, uh, one thing I have to do is here I have to call on init. So when this controller is being created, so it directly call that particular method inside it, get post data. So when this object is created at the home screen, it basically call the on init state. On init it will call that method, and at the end we will get the result from the internet, and we will be showing it here. Let me run it to you guys so you guys can see what we have did till now. So I have not implemented any search functionality yet, so I am going to implement it once you see the UI running. Let me restart it again and show you what I have designed in the meantime. Yeah, so get material app has been created and initialized. Now this is splash screen image. For 5 seconds it will be shown, and then it will be redirecting toward the home screen. So basically this is what I have did so far. In the home screen, as I have explained, that it get data from API. While getting data, it is showing circular progress indicator, and once this is done, we are showing the data into the form of list2.builder. And you can see that if I click over there and I search something, nothing is happening. Yeah, so you can see I'm searching but nothing is happening because I have not implemented search functionality yet. So let me implement that. So the magic part comes here. I have implement on change method because when someone is typing into the keyboard or the text field, basically one is triggering and which basically triggered the on change function. So first of all, we have to check if input is empty, then we don't have to do anything. Just we have to reset the list. Suppose if user types something there, let me demonstrate. If I have write something there and I got the result, now I want to clear the result. So first of all, what I do, I just clear the text field. So once the text field is cleared, then I want to show whole result again from scratch. So what I will do is just simple. I have to perform data controller dot reset back. So I'm going to create that method which will basically create uh, which will basically reset all the lists in the data controller. Let me create that one. Reset back. What it will do, it just clear the filter result dot value equal to posts. So that's all we have to do like that. And then the actual thing that comes in is basically looking into the and searching into the result. So what I have to do is basically I have to call search helper dot search model. So this is very amazing method which basically search through your list of model. So in our case, what is the model? Data controller dot posts. So all the value that we are having is in the inside the post. And then we have another field is properties. Now you can see we have a list of data, and inside that is suppose I want to perform search on basis of title. So I have to pause here properties in the form of list and title there. And another thing is search word. Basically that input is our search word, and then it is giving us a result back into the form of list of map with string key and dynamic value. And I'm saying that this is the result. Okay, so you can see it actually filter throughout the post data, and then it give result back. And what I have to do is just making a loop on that result and transforming again it to the list model. Data controller dot filter post data controller dot why it's not showing, sorry, it's like that. Data controller dot filter post dot add. What we have to add, we have to add post model dot from JSON. As you can see, we are getting list of map mean list of JSON. So we are passing it here element, and then we are boom. Now let's check the result. So I'm going to restart it once again to so the changes get effect. Now it is restarted. Now you can see basically the data is loading over here. Yeah, the data is loaded. Now let's check that whether the search is working or not. Suppose I want to search all the article that contains SUNT. Okay, something is giving us a problem. Let's check it out. What's the problem is? Let's figure out. Was just we have to make it variable instead of direct typecasting, mentioning the direct type. so I have made it variable. And now let's restart it. And that was just simple error because sometimes it not recognize types, that why. So let's restart it and check the result. So it is restarted. This is the splash screen, and now it is loading. Come on, now it is loading data from the website. So the data is loaded. Now I'm going to search those articles which basically contain the word cat. If it contain, like in this case, it contain the word cat, but in this it does not have a cat. So if it works, let's check CA, and you can see the runtime result cat. So this is working awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hit like and subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. Please subscribe it and share with your friends. Thanks.